Welcome to Delphi Bracketology's first episode of Game Day. We're excited to be here, excited to put this together. We are a club that talks sports. We have students and teachers combined together. We started last year with putting together the NCAA tournament bracket, and this year we expanded to NCAA football. We'll be coming to you each week with a game day and eventually a top 25 poll. I'd like to introduce our panel today. I'm Brian Tonsoni. We have Dave Gilbert over on the far, and we have Kane Meyer today. We're going to start off with a short slate of games and discuss what we think will be happening this week. Our first game, Southern Illinois versus Indiana. Kane, what are your thoughts?
Big question for the Hoosiers this year is definitely going to be coming from the defensive side. But behind quarterback Nate Sudfeld, I think they're going to get the win this Saturday.
Gilby?
I think Nate Sudfeld's a good quarterback, and it's going to be too much for FCS school, Southern Illinois.
And I will make that the third call for Indiana. I think they get off to a good start in week one.
Well, Purdue is the first Big Ten team to travel to Marshall in Marshall's history, so the herd crowd is going to be amped up for that. They also return a 1,700-yard rusher back from last year's 13-1 team, Durham Johnson. And I think that's going to be too much for Purdue, even though they do return 16 starters and quarterback Austin Appleby. Daryl Hazel's team has only won one road game in 2 years. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, this weekend.
Kane, your thoughts on Purdue?
I have Purdue breaking out and getting the win on this one. I feel Danny Anthrop's going to have a big year as a wide receiver.
Local guy, impact guy. I think playing at Marshall is hard. Road games for Big Ten teams can be tough, and Marshall traditionally has had a good program in a hard place, so I think Marshall squeaks this out, but I think Purdue fans have something to look forward to in year three with Coach Hazel. Third game on the slate is Texas at Notre Dame, kind of a marquee matchup in name. Mr. Gilbert, your thoughts on Texas and Notre Dame?
This is Charlie Strong's second year at Texas. He's looking to continue the rebuilding and build on the 6 wins from last year. However, their offense was pretty anemic last year, and their offensive line is in a state of influx this year. Quarterback Malik Zaire takes over for Notre Dame behind a very experienced offensive line. I just think Notre Dame's going to be too much in South Bend. I think I see the Irish with a big win this weekend.
It's always tough to get a win from Notre Dame in South Bend, so I'm going to Notre Dame.
Atmosphere alone, opening weekend at Notre Dame. If you ever had a chance to go any game at Notre Dame, but opening day is quite strong. I think it's too much for Texas, and I think Notre Dame starts their season out victorious. Our last game on the slate in our initial game day discussion is probably the marquee matchup of the first weekend, and that is Big Ten's Wisconsin versus SEC's Alabama in Jerry Jones Stadium down there in Arlington, Texas. Alabama has a lot of talent ranked high. They haven't really decided on their quarterback yet between Coker and Morris. Obviously, they're going to reload at that position. Their skilled positions defensively and wide receiver are inexperienced, but as we've come to know, they're pretty good. Calvin Ridley and Darius Stewart, a couple really talented wideouts. And then you have Wisconsin. Stavi can he throw the ball? Can Clement run? There's only 2 returning linemen. And so the strength of Alabama is their up front defense, their defensive line and linebackers. So can Wisconsin, who's traditionally a power team, huddle up power team, can they produce enough first downs, enough scoring to keep up with the high-powered athletes of Alabama? So I'm going with Alabama, and I think it'll be a 10-point spread at least.
I think Alabama, led by Nick Saban, is going to be tough this year. He's always got his team ready for game day, and I think their crowd's going to be big, and I don't think Wisconsin's going to be able to handle this, so I'm going with Alabama.
I don't think it really matters who Nick Saban chooses for quarterback. They're just going to be handing off to Derrick Henry a lot. I see Alabama winning pretty big. Wisconsin's kind of in a state of flux as well with Paul Chryst, their third coach in 4 years. There's not a lot of stability there, other than they do have one good running back, Corey Clement, but the offensive line's not very stable right now, so I see Alabama by 2 touchdowns.
There you have it. Those are our picks for 4 games. We're going to expand the number of games as we go on, as we learn what we're doing here and get better. We'll have some guest selectors come in. We're working on bringing in some local celebrities. Send us, your job is to send us some high school appropriate game day signs, and if your sign is selected, we'll put it on our game day, so be creative, check out the game day signs. And follow us at Delphi Brackets for information on our upcoming poll and our games. Thank you for watching. This has been Delphi Bracketology, Game Day #1.